Good morning, children. I hope all of you are fine. Today we will do the revision of chapter 11, Force and Pressure, and the topic will be force, which is coming in your exam. Okay, so as you know that force is defined as a push or a pull. Okay, force is a push or a pull which can change the position of an object. Okay, now in this picture you can see various images showing either the force of a pull or a push. So something that you are driving away from your body is categorized as a push. Something which you are pulling towards yourself is a pull. Like squeezing a lemon, that will be a push. Kicking a ball, it is a push. Whereas catching a ball will be a pull. So all these images show you different examples of a push or a pull. Then again, they are showing that force can be categorized as a push or a pull, and these are the examples: playing a guitar, cutting wood, sawing of wood. All these examples of push, and scrubbing floor, drawing, pulling a drawer, then rowing a boat. All these are the examples of a pull. Pull is when we apply force to move an object towards our body and pushes away from our body. Then how is force applied? Force is only applied when there is some sort of interaction between two objects. Okay, either we can see the connection or sometimes we cannot see the connection, but the connection has to be established between the two objects for the force to act, and this connection is called as interaction. There has to be some sort of interaction between the two objects so that the force can be applied. Then what are the 5 effects of force? You must be remembering what are the 5 effects till now. First effect is that the force, now effect, remember children, is whatever happens to the object when the force is applied on it. Okay, what happens to that particular object is the effect. Now force can make a stationary object to move. For example, there's a ball, it was not moving, you kick it, it started moving. That is the first effect of force, that it can make a stationary object to move. Second, it can make a moving object, or if it is already moving, it can increase its speed. It can let the body start moving faster. Just the opposite, third effect, the force can slow down an already moving object. For example, you are driving a bicycle, somebody puts a hand on the bicycle and tries to stop it. Although the bicycle did not stop, but the speed was slow. So this is the third effect of the forces, that the force can decrease the speed of an object if it is already in motion. Fourth effect, it can change the direction of an already moving object. Like kicking a ball, it was already moving, you kicked it from another direction, it goes somewhere else, but it kept on moving. So if it is already moving, the force can either slow it down, it can stop it, or change its direction. Then what is the fifth effect of force? Force can change the shape of an object. Okay, I hope you understood all the 5 effects of force. What are the 5 effects? This is the summary of all of them. Okay, so now what are the 2 basic types of forces? Contact forces and non-contact forces. Okay, the broad classification of forces is such that it is divided into contact and non-contact forces, depending upon whether we can see the interaction between the two objects, or if we are not able to see any contact between the two objects. Okay, so now what are contact forces? The contact forces are exerted only when the two objects are actually touching each other. There is a proper contact between the two objects and we can see it. Now what are the 3 types? Muscular force, mechanical force, and frictional force. Muscular or biological force is exerted by the muscles of the human beings or by animals. For example, you are pushing away a hand cart, or you are lifting a bucket of water, horse is pulling a horse cart. All these are the examples of muscular force because they are applied by the muscles of human beings or by animals. Then if the machines apply the force, it is called as mechanical force by the non-living things. Then frictional force is the force which opposes motion. It acts between the surfaces of the two objects when they try to slide over each other. Now this is all about muscular force. It acts when the muscles of the human beings are doing something, when we are applying the force using our muscles. These are the examples of muscular forces. You can see in this picture a bullock cart, a horse cart, where the animals are employed to do the work, and this is all the human beings when they are pushing each other, when you are lifting up things. All these are the examples of muscular forces. Then mechanical force is when the machines are applied to do are employed to do work. When we can't do something, then we take the help of the machines, and machines run on the fuels. Like we get our energy from the food we eat, similar ways the machines get their energy from the fuel, like diesel, like petrol, like natural gas, like coal. All these fuels give energy to the machines to do their work. And this force is called mechanical force, which acts because of the machines. Mechanics word comes from machines. The third type of contact force is frictional force. Now frictional force acts when the two surfaces rub against each other. Always remember, friction opposes motion. So wherever this object is moving towards, in the opposite side the friction will act. It does not want the objects to move. Okay, this is all about the types of contact forces. Now we will see what are the three types of non-contact forces. Now remember, non-contact forces act when we cannot see any apparent contact or interaction between the two objects, but still the forces act. The three types are gravitational force, magnetic force and electrostatic force. The first is gravitational force. Now we see everything is pulled towards the earth by a certain force. That is the force of attraction. Each and everything falls towards the earth. Earth is considered a very big magnet, right? And the force by which an object is pulled towards the earth is called its weight. What is weight? The force by which an object is pulled towards the earth is called its weight. That is why people appear weightless on moon. Why? Because the gravity on moon is 1/6 of the earth. So gravitational force, although we cannot see anything being pulled down, no apparent contact is there, but still everything falls towards the ground. And this force is called gravitational force of attraction or gravity. Second type of non-contact force is magnetic force. Now you all have played with the magnets. You keep the magnets away, say 1 or 2 centimeters away, still they manage to pull each other, right? Now magnets apply a force of pull also and a force of push also, right? They apply a force of pull on all the other objects, but on different magnets they apply a force of push also. Push is repulsion, pull is attraction. Remember, right? Two magnets can attract and repel both, so they can push and pull each other, whereas a magnet can only pull certain other iron or other magnetic substances towards itself. Understood? So magnetic force also acts through space, right? Even though there is no contact between the two objects, and so it is also a type of non-contact force. Then third type of non-contact force is electrostatic force, which is due to the charges. One object is charged, the other object can or cannot be charged. For example, you take an inflated balloon, rub it with a silken cloth and let it fly. After some time it goes and sticks to the wall. Why? Because the balloon is charged, whereas the wall is uncharged. Understood? You take off your pullover, your sweater. You see it is sticking to your body. What is happening? The pullover is charged now, and it is sticking to your body, which is, and it may be charged or it may be uncharged. So the attraction between the two charged bodies or the attraction between a charged and uncharged body is called electrostatic force. It is because of the electrostatic charges. The charges, they are electric charges, but they do not flow. That is why they are called electrostatic charges. This is the third type of electrostatic force. Okay, now we see what are the different units of force. The unit of force can be kgf, it can be gf, right? It can be 1 kilogram force, it can be a gram force. Now how do we define kilogram force? The force required to lift an object of 1 kilogram vertically upwards is called a kilogram force. Similarly, we define gram force. The gram force is the force required to lift an object of 100 grams vertically upwards. Okay, that is gram force and kilogram force. What is the relation between gram and kilogram force? 1 kgf is equals to 100 gf, that is 100 gram force, and 100 gram force is equal to 1 Newton. Remember, 1 Newton is equal to 100 gram force. That is why we say that 1 Newton is also equal to 10 kilogram force. 1 kilogram force is equal to 10 Newton. Why? Because 1 Newton is equals to 100 gram force. Okay, and how do we define a Newton? The Newton is the force required to lift an object of 100 gram vertically upwards. Okay, always remember 1 kgf is equals to 10 Newton. Why? Because 1 Newton is equals to 100 gram force. Now, what are the two things that determine how much force will be applied? right? It is determined by two quantities, that is magnitude and direction. Magnitude means the strength or the amount of force which is applied. For example, 20 Newton, 40 Newton, 50 Newton, this is the strength or magnitude of force. And direction is where it is applied from. For example, there's a table in the center of the room. You are applying 20 Newton force. Either you are pushing it away from you or you are pulling it towards you. So this determines is the direction where you are applying your force. If you are applying away from you, the table will go away from you. If you are applying towards you, the table will come towards you. So where the object will go is dependent upon the magnitude and direction of force. Okay, now we come to the addition, subtraction and cancellation of forces. When are the two forces added up? When are they subtracted? And when do they cancel each other? First case, if the forces are applied, more than two forces are applied from the same direction, then the resultant or net force will be equal to the sum of all the forces. What? When two or more forces are applied from the same direction, they will be added up to give you the net or resultant force. What is net or total force? The total force acting upon the object at that particular time. For example, you are pushing the table with 10 newtons. Your friend also helps you out with 20 newtons. What is the total force acting upon the table? 20 plus 20 is equals to 40 newton. This is called addition of forces. Second is subtraction of forces. Supposing the two forces are applied from the opposite direction, or more than two also. The forces are applied from the opposite direction. What will happen? The net or resultant force will be equal to the difference between the two forces, because they are from different directions. Right? In this case, you can see 10 Newton from the upside or the 5 Newton from the other side. From right hand side it is 5 Newton, from left hand side it is 10 Newton. So what is the resultant force equal to? 5 Newton. 10 minus 5. And this is called subtraction of forces, which occurs when the two or more forces act on an object from different directions. Then when do the forces cancel each other and the resultant force becomes 0? When two or more forces act on an object from opposite direction, and what happens? They are equal in magnitude. Remember, if they are acting from opposite direction and they are different in magnitude, then they will be subtracted. But if they are equal in magnitude and acting from opposite direction, they will cancel each other and the resultant force will become 0. Okay? This is what is meant by cancellation of forces. I hope you've understood all the topics that we have covered today. We have covered the different types of forces. Right? We have seen what are the 5 effects of force produced on the objects. We have seen what is the unit of force. We have also learnt about when do the addition of forces occur, when is subtraction coming into play, and when do the forces cancel each other. I hope this topic is clear to you all. If you have any doubts, you can please ask me in your live class. Goodbye for now. Take care of yourself.